So I got a message recently on Facebook from a woman and it stuck with me. It bothered me. It's gonna bother you too. Last year, she ended up losing 9 teeth out of her denture. Like they just randomly at different times popped out. And my mind immediately went to, somebody didn't make sure that the teeth were bonding properly to the denture base. I can't think of a situation where somebody has done something to cause that on their own. Unfortunately for her, this happened during COVID lockdowns, and the place that she received that denture from was closed. So she did what anybody would do, what I would do. She went to the drugstore and she got a denture repair kit and she put them back in as a temporary fix just until the office opens again and she can get a permanent solution, which most likely would have been that it would have had to been replaced. It would have had to been remade. She goes back in and she's told that because she fixed her own denture, it voided her warranty and now she has to pay out of pocket for a new set. It is infuriating. So whenever you're dealing with a difficult patient, try to keep that in mind, that these are the kind of things that we routinely deal with. I know it's probably hard to believe, but I get messages like that come across all the time. Another one just a few days ago, a woman spent $53,000 on getting implants. She went through the process for a year to finally end up with a set that just clicks all the time. It's constantly clicking, and her dentist is offering up some really weird backdoor solution to, what seems like a straightforward problem. And she's left confused, like, I don't know how she financed it, okay? But I'm telling you, most people do not have $50,000 just laying around to throw into their mouth. So people are refinancing their house. People are taking out second mortgages. They are going into credit card debt. They're using their life savings. Like, this is how we're coming up with money to spend on treatment that doesn't even work sometimes. And then when you go back to the dentist to try to get some answers or some solution, they talk over your head. They speak in ways that you don't understand. And so they offer no solution. You're left feeling frustrated and confused and like, what am I going to do now? Go to another dentist for a second opinion and spend more money? We don't have the money for that. I wonder how many times a dentist has seen a patient come into their office, and when they get in there and start digging around and looking at the work that they had done, they just are left scratching their head like, I don't know what this person did in your mouth, but this is not normal. This is not standard. I get a lot of messages like that from people who were just so frustrated by the treatment that they received from one dentist. And then they finally go to another dentist to get that work corrected. And this dentist is telling them like, this should have never happened. This treatment is not standard. This is not what we do. And then they offer the solution. So it leaves us feeling like we can't really trust what dentists are telling us, because a lot of times it's very conflicting information. If you deliver us a treatment plan and say, these are all of the steps that we need to take to get your mouth healthy, then how do we challenge that? We can't. We have to completely trust you, whether it's right or wrong, whether we can afford it or not. We are at your mercy. This is why people are so frustrated. Where's the accountability when things don't work out? What do you do in those situations? So I just really wanted to highlight that, because yes, there are some very ethical dentists that have integrity and they really care about the work that they put out there. And if they make a mistake, then they correct it. You know what I mean? If it's something that they feel like is over their skill level, they would do the right thing and recommend you to somebody that you could trust to treat your problem. Like, there's ways to ethically treat people, but then you've got these people that are out there just totally winging it. And those people, they don't understand what it's like to have to come up with $50,000. They're making like $350,000 profit. I get it. Dentistry is expensive. There's a lot of overhead, but like when we tell you, I'm sorry, Jennifer, we can't get the sealants today because it's either your sealants or putting gas in our car so we can actually go and work our 9 to 5 and make like a fourth of what you make in a year. This is where the frustration comes from. And I think that communication needs to improve. There needs to be more accountability. Dentists need to go the extra step at taking some of the mystery out of what they're doing. These are things that I think that dentists dentists need to hear, because then it gives them the opportunity to do better, to make sure that they set themselves apart and that they're only treating patients in the most ethical way possible. I want you guys to chime in. If you have ever gone to the dentist and had just an absolute horrific experience with them, then I want you to share it below, because I want to highlight why we're so frustrated, why we can be so difficult, why we challenge what the dentists tell us sometimes. When I was 15, my grandparents took me to the dentist, and the dentist told me that I needed all of my teeth pulled and to get dentures because the amount of work that needed to be done was too expensive. I would never be able to afford it. The cheapest option would be to pull all of my teeth and give me dentures. And he was prepared to do that. He was prepared to pull my teeth, all of them, at 15. 3 years later, I go to a dentist and he gives me an entirely different story. Totally different. He laughed. He thought that I made it up, that a dentist actually told me at age 15 that I needed all of my teeth pulled. And this dentist gave me a treatment plan that unfortunately I still couldn't afford. But it was, it was $13,000. It was totally different from what the previous dentist had told me. At this stage in life, if that had happened, $13,000 is something that I could definitely do, and I would have been able to work towards getting, my teeth back to a state of the best health that they could be in. So my phone died, go figure. So I'm just gonna quickly wrap this up. Please share your stories below, because I really feel like that needs to be pointed out. They need to know why we're so angry and why we're so frustrated. And I imagine there are a ton of horror stories out there that you can share. Make sure that you like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe to my channel. That's the best way that you can support what I'm doing on here. And if you think that somebody else could benefit from this video, share it. Follow me on Instagram. It's kalinjax on Instagram. And I will see you guys on Thursday for the Q&A. And y'all take care.